This is Claire Phoenix. I'm here with Mike Allman. He's a Regional Director and Vice President Europe for ARC, which is AMI, who develop orbital welding for nuclear, oil and gas, offshore, shipbuilding, petrochemicals, and most importantly, the food and beverage industry. And they've just been working on a dairy or contributing towards the dairy for Arla. Mike, can you just tell me, how does orbital welding eliminate cleaning and sanitation problems?
Well, orbital welding is, by its very nature, the process we use is fusion welding for example, for the Arla facility, and the welds are pure, they're clean, and we're fusing the parent materials together, so we're not adding any other materials at all. And by the nature of the process, we can get high quality, high purity welding, which is clean and clear of any faults or inclusions that might cause us problems moving forward on the cleaning processes.
So it prevents contamination mainly?
Potentially it prevents cross-contamination after you've cleaned the pipes and the tubing.
And you mentioned something earlier about eliminates dead zones, is that right?
Well, the design of the systems will eliminate the dead zones. The welding is the process where we're doing clean, pure welds to ensure that we're facilitating and helping the cleaning processes when they're putting either liquids or fluids and detergents into the systems, or steam cleaning, so that we don't, so that we as a business don't have any responsibility is probably the wrong word, but we don't have any. The likelihood of cross-contamination is minimised through the welding process because of our sanity there.
Mm-hmm. And so it can carry many sorts of food and beverage products. Is it dairy, juices? Well, what else do you do?
It really is. We can do anything in the food and beverage industry.
So breweries as well.
Oh, breweries. Typically, we do brewery work, and not only that, but the process lines, but we'll do the pure gas lines as well within the installations. In essence, we can do welded, high quality stainless piping and tubing in any of the applications and processes, and we will do the welding and have the welding done to the required specifications of the client.
And which sort of heads do you suggest using in the beverage industry? What?
Well, typically in the food and beverage sector, we would be looking at probably the Model 8 series and the Model 9 series. Typically, we might, in certain instances where pipe diameters get bigger, we might consider the Model 15, but that's probably where wall thicknesses increase as well, which is quite rare in this particular sector. But we do come across it on occasion, not always, but on occasion.
So the welding is heat welding. Is it through electrical?
We're what we call for the tube welding. It's a fusion process. So in essence, we're fusing the materials together, and it is using essentially a current through an electrode, and the heat that goes into the material causes it to melt, and we fuse the parent materials together that way. Right.
And so this is generally, these tubes are actually used for wet cleaning in place as well, for CIP solutions?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a system which generally is being designed for having cleaning in place used because of the nature of the processes, particularly in the dairy industry.
Mm. And why does the welding need to be pre-programmable? How does that help?
Well, the pre-programming is a feature of the power sources, and the reason you have a number of different, or the ability to program weld schedules into a controller, is because on a site all your pipe diameters and wall thicknesses can vary significantly, and the parameters vary. Therefore, if we put in a number of different schedules, the engineers and the welding engineers can pick the particular schedule that is suited to the pipe they're welding at that particular point in time, and not design them continually. So we can do that at the testing and training stage of the project for the client.
And what do you think of plastic piping? I mean, this obviously is lighter in weight, and is it cheaper? Is it more cost effective for people?
Honestly, in our applications, we don't come across plastic piping.
No, because you're stainless steel. Generally.
Well, predominantly, we range from our applications. Certainly, in the food sector, is predominantly stainless and different grades of stainless. But we'll range on applications in all our industries from carbon steel right up to titaniums for the aerospace industry. But we do not tend to come across plastics. Plastics have their application on lines which potentially are non-pressurized lines.
Yes, I see. And what about growth for the company? I mean, are you going to spread further through Europe? What's your next move?
Okay, I mean, if you look at our business globally, in the last 2 years up to the end of last year, we grew the business by around 73% globally. In the UK, the business grew 53%, which is significant within the market we're in today, and the economic environment that everybody talks about. Now, in the future, we already have offices in Switzerland and we have offices in Germany, but obviously we have plans to look at facilities and offices further afield. And we have a relationship into India, we have relationships into the Middle East, but also South Africa. So they're countries which are on our radar, and we're working there. But really, our focus is at this point to get our European operations functioning really, really well, and get our markets secured in Europe, and then look further afield from a position of strength where we've got the foundations in place.
Thanks for downloading this FoodBev.com podcast. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, and LinkedIn.